everyone. I thought I would just do a little final post before I travel back to Edinburgh. I'm checking out very soon, and then I'm going to be travelling back this afternoon. And I've got to say, I'm very much looking forward to going home, to be in my own space, to sleep in my own bed, to reconnect with my wonderful husband, and most of all to collect our gorgeous little kittens tomorrow morning. If you've been following me, you'll know that we very sadly lost our beautiful Leo on Christmas Eve, the love of our life. My husband and I have chosen not to have children, and our pets have been our children. And Leo meant so much to us and had such a wonderful character and was taken from us far too soon. And we hadn't planned to even consider getting more pets, at least until autumn, till we'd had some time to grieve. And yet this opportunity presented itself, and here we are. And tomorrow we are collecting Ailey and Lachlan from a beautiful farm outside Glasgow. And just my heart is so full. There's part of me that still carries so much sadness for our beautiful boy, but at the same time, you know, we all live and we all die, and there's an opportunity for newness and new life, and I can't wait to get them tomorrow. So be prepared for lots of cat videos. I'll be so excited, I think, and so in love. I already feel so in love with them. And it's wonderful to have two new babies. They're only 10 weeks old, they're only wee, so they're going to be super cute. I'm just grateful. Anyway, I'm going on for a little bit of a debrief before I leave London. First of all, it's been such a beautiful, in total 7 days here in London. I used to live in London. I lived in Clapham for 2 years, and I also lived in London in Shepherd's Bush when I was 18 for a year. So London for me is very much a second home, and I always feel very connected when I come here, and I love the whole energy of London, the busyness, the intensity at times, and yet also a lot of beautiful green spaces depending where you are based. So I'm currently in the south of London. I'm in Tooting. I love Tooting. It's a really multicultural area, and it doesn't feel that touristy at all, which is what I love about it. And we have, well, I say we, myself, and the wonderful Giada, who is the face of the School of Shamanism and also runs the Arts and Spirituality Centre in Edinburgh, has been with me here, or was with me here, for most of this time. And we've had just such a wonderful time together. Giada and I are both very busy women. We are both so dedicated to our businesses and our purpose in life, and very rarely have time to really be with each other and really connect fully. And we both realized this was probably the first time we've spent so long together and really had that time to just really connect heart to heart and human to human, woman to woman. And it's been, honestly, it was food for the soul, and I couldn't have wished for a more wonderful housemate. So Giada, thank you for an amazing 6 days with you. It's made this time incredibly special, and it's been wonderful to be able to come see you in the morning and come back in the evenings and debrief after the breathwork training and share my thoughts and get your reflections. It's been truly special. I feel incredibly grateful. In fact, generally, I feel incredibly grateful for the people in my life who stand by my side and who inspire me. And this week has reminded me of that, of the importance of connection, of having people in your life that stand with you and not only inspire you, but also root for you and want you to shine brightly, and you feel the same way about them, because there's space for all of us. And I'm incredibly grateful currently that I am surrounded by so many incredible professionals and human beings that give me so much, and I hope I give much in return. So I guess at the moment I'm feeling quite emotional today, in a way that I just feel like my heart is so full and my body feels really balanced. I've mentioned a few times that I've changed my nutrition this year, and I'm feeling physically so much healthier within myself. I've also had to do a lot of work on grief and loss and anger particularly in the last 6 to 8 months, I would say, in fact, possibly the last 18 months. More with anger last year, more with grief since losing Leo. I've also had to face a lot of challenges in personal relationships with things coming up that I hadn't expected, where the universe definitely has been uncomfortably gifting me with opportunities to think about where am I now and where was I? Where is there room and space for forgiveness and compassion and healing and accountability? And where is there space for also just letting go of things that are not serving me anymore and embodying who I am right now? And that can keep changing. We don't stay the same throughout our lives. And that's actually really important, to stay fluid and open, I think, in my opinion. So yes, there's been a lot happening. And then I had this breathwork training, and I've mentioned before, this felt like the perfect time when I booked into it, when I met Elif Clark and I had her on my podcast, and I was like, I need to do this breathwork training, even though breathwork training was not on my radar at all. I was like, I really want to experience this with this person, particularly Elif, who is someone who works from the heart space and has a huge amount of experience and an amazing background. And I really wanted to work with her and experience her, and this felt like that opportunity. So I booked in, but at that point things were very different in my life. I didn't feel as balanced, I didn't feel as healthy, I didn't feel as settled. And so it's really interesting how the universe just gives you these little things here and here and here and here, really sneaky. Yes, universe, you're very sneaky. And gives you these gifts and opportunities. And it couldn't have been better timing where I am. And so these last 6 days have been powerful. I have felt such, and I've talked about this, I felt such a deep connection to my soma, to my body. Such a deep gratitude for all the work my body does. Such a deep gratitude for all the people in my life that teach me every day. A deep gratitude to myself for doing the work and showing up for myself every day, which I always say to people, we have to show up for ourselves. There's going to be people in our lives that inspire us and teach us and guide us and hold us and create safe enough spaces that feel supportive, that feel nurturing, that teach us new resources. But we have to do the work. We have to do the work. We have to show up for ourselves. We have to invest in ourselves. And that is not an easy thing. It takes courage. It takes bravery. It takes commitment. But it's worth it. And I guess I'm starting to really see that all this hard work, the tears, the moments of anger, the frustration, the physiological, somatic, physical struggles I have been facing with menopause and trauma recovery and healing and life. It's worth it when you invest in yourself and you work on it, because it's worth doing that, because then at some point you're at a place where I am right now, and I don't know how long this will last. Let's see what the universe gives me as extra challenges for learning and growth. But right now, that feeling of balance, that feeling of being anchored, that feeling of being rooted, grounded, loved, a freedom in my body to feel joyful and just be able to be compassionate with myself and say, I don't have to be perfect. I can have a bad day. I can say things that I didn't mean, but then hopefully have the strength to be accountable and apologize or take responsibility. I can have moments of dysregulation, but I can also have moments of regulation. I can feel anger, joy, happiness, frustration. All is welcome in this body that is mine. And it's not about toxic positivity. It's not about everything is perfect and great. It's not about, yeah, now I found this and my life's going to be amazing. No, life is crazy. Life is bumpy. I say this a lot. Let's keep our feet firmly on the ground, people, okay? Let's really stay realistic. we can find resources and tools that work for us, and they may change over time. I know mine are constantly changing. One day one thing works, another day another thing works. One day I'm up here full of energy, one day I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling so great. But that's the beauty of life, navigating these ebbs and flow, these moments of discomfort where we learn something if we're open to it, these moments of pure joy where we need to capture those moments, those little moments of joy, those little moments where we have something where it feels like it's working for us, or the universe gives us a beautiful gift, and really embody them, store them here and here and here and here and here and here and here because your body will remember, so that in the moments where you are struggling, where the world feels heavy, where things feel dark, and they do sometimes, where things feel unjust or frustrating, and in this current world which is on fire, that can happen a lot, where things get done to us that we have no control of. Let us take back some control in ourselves. Let's really use that as an opportunity for learning. Let us allow ourselves to be angry. Let us allow ourselves to stand up for things we believe in, to be true to our values, to have a purpose in something, so that we have space for more balance, more energy. I often talk about balance. For me, it's not really about regulation, it's actually about balance. That navigation of rest and digest and threat, that parasympathetic and sympathetic, that beautiful dance between awareness of dangers and threats and somatic bodily awareness, but also that ability to just find moments of peace and calm and groundedness and soothing. And that's different for every single person. So that's the tricky bit. You need to work out what's right for you. I'm filled today with energy. I'm filled today with gratitude. I'm filled today with so many thoughts. And I know I need to give myself the space to integrate what I've taken away in the last week. Things that I know really resonate with me. Things that I know definitely do not. Things that felt comfortable. Things that felt uncomfortable. And all of that is learning. And each practitioner is different. Each facilitator is different. And, you know, I know myself. Some people come to my workshops and go, wow, that was so for me and that aligns with where I am right now. And others say that's not right for me right now. And I think that's brilliant to notice what is right for you and what's not. We all have such a different approach, a different energy, a different vibration. It's being open to that and being able to express that verbally, physically. Really express yourself. What do you need? What would be helpful? How can you express that in that moment, or maybe in another moment? I know, we're all different. Anyway, so those are my thoughts and reflections. I feel like I shared a lot there, but those are my thoughts and reflections today. I feel really privileged that I'm able to do the work that I do. I feel privileged that I have the life that I have. I feel privileged that I could go on this training for 6 days. Let us not take for granted when we have the opportunity to live the life we would like. Not everyone can do that. And let us remember that that is a privilege. It is a privilege and not one to be taken for granted, and we should stay humble in the process. Doesn't matter how much we do or we achieve. Let's keep our feet on the ground. We are all just human beings. A perfect example is, this is the last thing I'm going to say because I'm realizing as usual it's turning into a really long post because I kind of feel like I'm sitting here talking to many of you, and I know many of you are joining me live, so hello. I was on my way to my breathwork training the other day, and I go through Borough Market and I get my juice. Again, I'm really lucky that I can do that. And I had noticed most days there was a man sitting there very quietly with his dog, and he had a sign, and the sign said that I have worked all my life and I'm currently homeless. Can you help? and I'd rushed past him many, many times. I'd clocked him, but I'd rushed past him, as we often do, especially if we're not in the moment and mindful. And then on my last day of my training, he was actually sitting at the top of the stairs of the Borough Market tube station, and I literally walked past him. And I walked past him, and something in my body just went, you need to stop and just speak to this person. And so I did. I turned around, I went back down the stairs, and I just came down to his level, and I just said, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened? I said, good morning, what happened? And I took a moment just to listen to his story. And this was such a wonderful man. So intelligent, so able, clearly has just had a tough run in life. His dog was, oh my gosh, the most beautiful animal. And it had a few health issues, and he was telling me how he's going to be taking it to the vet. And I was checking with him about if he's able to stay somewhere. And I didn't have any money on me. I don't carry cash on me or a card. So I kind of said, look, can I get you a coffee at least or something? And I did, and he was very sweet at first. He was like, no, I'm fine. And then I was like, no, come on. And then I did. I went and got him a drink and a little bit of food. But it was a moment of just remaining humble. We're all human beings in this world. Some of us are really more fortunate than others. Some of us get born into this world, and it is an uphill struggle. I see that working in social work. It's one of the big reasons why I work in the front line of social work and justice, because I want to keep my feet firmly on the ground and work with people who need it, who maybe could not access services by paying for them, for example. It's a big reason why I offer community spaces in my workshops and why I do community work wherever possible with charities and other places. Let us stay humble. Let us be grateful, and let us know it is a privilege to do this work. It is a privilege to hold spaces for people where they are vulnerable and they share sometimes so much stuff that they've not been able to share anywhere else, where they can learn new tools and resources to hopefully make a small difference in their lives, where we can share our knowledge. If we've been privileged enough to be able to go and do training, to pay for training, to go and do workshops and other things, let's give that to others. Surely that's the best thing we can do in this crazy world. Gift it to others so that we can, almost like little fairy lights, start lighting up across this world. And this sounds really kind of woo-woo and cheesy and all that today, but I'm really feeling it strongly. I always say, this work is my life's work. I am my life's work. I mean that. It is my purpose. I believe in this so strongly, and I want others to also believe in themselves and learn how they can find more balance in their lives, regulate more, manage this craziness of this world. Life can be so hard, and so let's stay humble. I think that's probably kind of my biggest, I've somehow in a very roundabout way got to that point. Let us stay humble. Let us stay humble. Let us stay humble. And let us share our learning with others. It's so important. So yeah, this week felt like a reminder of that. I kind of felt that strongly in my core, in my body, and I felt that strongly this morning. And I'm quite glad that I kept talking, because I somehow landed there with what I was feeling here strongly. Yeah. Okay. If you've been listening all this time, I really appreciate it. I would love to hear your thoughts, fellow professionals, fellow humans. What do you think? What do you think?